Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel, Nash Vegas Paracord. This is the first video I'm going to put out. We're going to do things with paracord. We're also going to do some fire starters, some other things you can do around the house. But the very first paracord I want to make is called a chainmail paracord. I really like it. It's a nice thick bracelet. It also uses three colors. You've got your center color, your two outer colors, and then you have your side band color. I also use the hooks on this one. Most people want to use a knot and a hole to hold them together. I really don't have good luck with those. They tend to fall off my arm, or if I give them to somebody, they tend to fall off and they're lost. I know when I use these that they stay on. So what we're going to need to do this project is you're going to need 3 cords, and you need to make sure that they're 7 foot long. You'll have a little bit left over, but 7 foot seems to work the best. The bracelet we're going to make is going to be orange and white, and then we're going to use the black as the side color. I usually use black for most of the side colors on these bracelets just because you have to have a cord to lock everything in. It gives a little dividing on it, and people don't really tend to notice that color as much. Besides the cords, you'll need 2 clips, 2 paracord clips. You'll need a cigarette lighter. Always need a cigarette lighter when you work with paracord. And then optional is a jig. If you don't have a jig, that's okay. You should still be able to follow my instructions and make a really nice bracelet. The nice thing about jigs is that it holds your cord for you. You can work, you can pull a little bit tighter. And it's also a third hand that you need when you work with paracord. So anyway, with all that said, let's get started. Okay, to get started, you first of all need to pick out your 3 colors. Hopefully you've already picked those out. 7 foot each cord. And then the next thing you want to figure out is what you want to be for your center color, your outside color, and then your side color. For my bracelet, I'm going to have orange as my center color, white as my outside color, and black as my side color. So the other thing you've got to remember is when you work on this bracelet, you're working on it upside down. What I'm saying is you're going to be looking at the back of the bracelet as you work. You're going to be looking at the loop side. You're not going to be looking at this side of the bracelet. You're going to be looking at this side as you work through it. So remember, because it's real easy to start working on this and realize you've got to tear everything apart because you didn't put your hooks right. So when I use the jig, normally I put the hooks in like I would. I was making a normal cobra weave bracelet or something. But for this one, I'm going to put the hook in upside down. If you notice, it's pointing up. That way when I work on the bracelet, I'm working on it from the back side, but I have the hook the right way. So the first thing we want to do is we want to take what we want for our center color, find the center, make sure the ends match, and we're going to take our cord and we're just going to do the basic first loop around. So what you want to do is you want to start at the bottom part of your cord, coming from the back. Push the first end through. Take your next end of the cord. Push that in through at the bottom. And sometimes it helps when you're doing this if you'll just go ahead and cut your end and singe it with your lighter. But for right now, that's not that big of a deal. Pull it through till you got kind of a loop here at the end. Bring your end back over into the top. Pull it through. Don't tighten it up yet. Take your other hook, take your other cord, pull it through the top. Oops. So what you've got now is you've kind of got hook, Make sure that your ends are even. If your ends aren't even, like I have, you'll just need to work with the cord to make it even. You just pull out from the end that has more, pull it back down, and then pull on your end that was short. And nope, still not there, still got some more to do. And this will happen more times than not when you're messing with paracord. So just play with it till you get your ends even. Almost there. One more time should do it. There we go. We got our ends even. So now that you got your ends even, you just hook them through. Pull them tight. So now that's your anchor point right there. So again, you want to take this, you want to hook it into your jig upside down so you're looking at the back, okay? Now, the second thing you want to do is you want to take your color that's going to be your side color. Your side color, not your outside color, but your side color. And you're going to take this and you're going to find midway, and you're going to bring it around the back of your cord, okay? And the one thing that you've always got to remember with this is that we are going to be consistent with our wraps, okay? So we're going to take the left-hand side of our wrap, we're going to bring it over, we're going to bring the right-hand side, and we're going to bring it over. All throughout the video, we're always going to bring the left side over first with the right side next. So we've got that. We're going to make a hole. We're going to take our cord, and all we're going to do is we're going to loop it through. And then we're going to take our other cord, and we're going to loop it through. So right now, all we have is our inner color, our side color. And I'm not going to tighten anything up because now we're going to bring our third color, which will be, again, the outside link. We're going to pull it up here. We're going to find center again, just by pulling it up till we get our ends even. And once we found center, we're going to come up here and we're going to put on each side of the cord that we just made, and we're going to pull this all down, and that's locked in there. Now that we've done that, I'm going to just start pulling and tightening up here and getting my cord up here where I want it. And it takes just a minute to get it where you want it. You want to try to get it up as close to the top of your buckle as you can. And then when you feel that you've got it about as best as you can, you just want to go ahead and pull these two black ends to tighten it. So right now all we have is we have our cords locked together, and then we will start doing the weave next. Okay, now that we have everything set up, we're ready to start our weave. It's fairly simple. It's a right, left weave. One of the first things that can happen is you'll lose your concentration about halfway through and forget if you went right or left last time. And if you do, it's no biggie. You just have to pull your weave out and start over again. The first time I did one of these, I probably did about 3 or 4 times that I had to make corrections, but that's all part of paracord, and that's just part of doing it. It's just being patient and making sure you're doing it right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our side colors, which is our side color right there, and we're always going to do this consistently. We're going to take our left side, we're going to bring it over to the right, We're going to bring our right side, we're going to bring it over to the left. We're going to make a big circle with it, okay? And then the first time we're going to take our colors, and we're going to bring it over, we're going to go to the right. And then we're going to pull it through. We're going to take our next color, we're going to weave it over to the right. We're going to pull it through. Our next color to the right. Pull it through. And our last color to the right and pull it through. Now, after we pull those all through, we want to pull them together. And we just want to start tightening them up. And I just roll them up here with my thumb until I get them where I want them, nice and tight. And then I take the side and I pull those in. And the side color is also really good because it locks in your loop. That's about the main reason that that's for. This is the whole thing that's going to hold your bracelet together for you. So now that we've got that, we've got everything pulled good and tight, because the tighter you pull it, the nicer your chainmail is going to look. We want to take again our left side, bring it over, our right side, bring it over, have a nice loop. This time as we go through, we're going to go to the left as we make our loops around. We're going to take our second color, we're going to go over to the left. We're going to take our third color, go over to the left. And again, like I said, this is something you've really got to work on your concentration as you go through this, because if you're watching TV or you're talking to somebody, it's real easy to forget if you went to the right or to the left. And if you do, like I said, all you got to do is just back yourself out till you remember where you were and start from that point on. So once you get that, you get everything pulled up, you start pulling it all nice and tight up here. Pull your sides in to lock it. And again, remember, you're also working on the back side of the bracelet. This is not the side that most people will see when you wear it. So again, we're going to take our left hand side, we're going to bring it over to our right hand side over to our left, make a big loop. This time we're going to go again to the right, because last time we went to the left. Pull it through, pull it through, pull it through, and pull it through. And we're going to just start tightening everything up. Once we get it where we want it, we're just going to pull it all good and tight. Pull the sides to lock everything in. And we're going to do this one more time. We're going to bring our left side over to our right side over to our left, make the big loop. This time we're going to go to the left. We're going to pull it over, pull it through. Again, we're going to our left. Pull it through. Pull it through. Bring it over and pull it through. So at this point now, we're just going to again tighten everything up, get it where we want it. Get our pulls nice and tight where we want them. Now at this point, I'm going to flip it over and show you. On this side we have our chainmail, and it looks pretty good. I do see we need to tighten up some of our cord here and there, and you'll notice that as you work on it, that you need to check and make sure your pulls are nice and consistent and your side colors aren't too out of the way. So what you need to do from now is just continue going, making the loop and going right to left. Our next weave will be to the right. Bring it down till you get it down to about this point, and then at that point we will work on tying off our strings and finishing our bracelet. Okay. So your weave should now kind of look like this. You're getting down close to the end. I'm going to take the other end of the buckle. I'm going to plug it into my jig again. I'm snapping it in upside down with the curve pointing up, just to make sure I'm at the end. So Now at this point we're going to start tying everything off and finalizing our bracelet. So to start our tie off, we're going to take our side color, which is the black, and also if you've noticed I flipped the jig around so all the free cord is facing away from me, my work is facing towards me. This will make it just a little bit easier doing this tie off because it's a little complicated. I'm going to do my best to explain it to you. If you get lost, you know, you can rewind it and play it over a few times till it makes sense. But I'm going to do it slow and I'm just going to take my time. So what we want to do is, again, we want to tie off our side colors. We're going to take our left hand side, we're going to bring it over on the top. We're going to bring our right side cord and we're going to bring it down under. So we now have a top cord and a bottom cord, and that's going to be the best way to reference this for everybody, just so we make sense of where we're at. So we're now going to take our top cord, we're going to bring it back around and through this loop. Okay? We're going to take our cord that was on the bottom, we're going to bring it back around over the top, pull it through. So at this point, you kind of snug it up, we're not going to make everything tight. You're going to have an X. This is what we should have at this point. So then we're going to take our cord that's now at our left, we're going to bring it up through this top loop, and we're going to kind of tie it off a little bit. Okay? We're not going to make our final adjustment on the knot, but we're just going to snug everything up so we don't have a lot of cord laying around. But this one is basically going to be the knot that is going to tie your whole bracelet together. And then the other two knots that we're going to make will be the knots that will secure it to the buckle. So now that we've done this, we're now going to flip our bracelet over. Okay? And as we flip our bracelet over, if you notice our cords are on the same side, that's okay. We're going to have a top one and a bottom one. Okay? Matter of fact, to make it just a little bit easier, I'm going to flip the jig around one more time. So now you've got your left bottom and your left top. Okay? I'm going to bring my bottom cord and I'm going to bring it up here through the top, and I'm going to pull it. And just get everything good and tight. And pull that up there. And what we have right now is we have our whole bracelet locked in with this. Okay. We'll cut and singe these here in just a second. Now the last part we want to do is we want to tie off our bracelet onto the buckle. So what we want to do is we want to bring all 4 strands through the other end. And again, remember, we're working with the buckle upside down. If you do it wrong, you're going to have a really weird looking buckle and your bracelet will be a lot tighter than it normally should be. So I'm going to pull this through. Pull this one through. And last but not least, we're going to pull this one through. And again, it sometimes helps if you do singe the ends of your paracord, just so you don't have all the stuff to pull through. So I'm going to pull this up here. So this is basically how our bracelet's going to look at the end. I'm going to bring the cord back over, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull this out just so I've got just a little bit of space right there. That way my cord has something to tie on and it's not all tied up over the bracelet. But I'm going to take my two outer colors, which are my whites. I'm going to bring my right hand color over. I'm going to bring it under and through. Tie it off. Basically what I'm trying to do is just a modified cobra weave. Make it good and tight. All I'm really doing is I'm just locking in the orange. I'm going to bring this one, I'm going to bring it over, through. And tie it off. Bring it in good and tight. And if you look at the top side, you've got your black and you've got your white there. And just get it all good and tight the way you want it. And we can go ahead and unhook from the jig at this point because the jig has done its job. I could resist a really bad pun and say the jig is up, but I will not say that. So now at this point, before you do your final cut and singe, it's always a good idea just to try the bracelet on, just to make sure you've got the fit you want, because after you cut, it's really hard to make a new bracelet. So just check it. That's a real nice fit. I'm real happy with that. My bracelet looks good. My snaps look good. Feels real good and secure on my arm. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to cut. And if you're new to paracord, one thing you got to understand is with a cigarette lighter, paracord melts. And what you can do is you can use the melting of the paracord to fuse everything in. One thing, when you look at your lighter, you notice there's like a yellow flame, and then down at the bottom is the blue flame. The blue flame is the part that you want to use to melt your paracord. You don't want to ever use the top part too much, and you don't want to stay on your paracord too much, because if not, it will catch fire and you'll need to blow it out real quick. The other thing is also when you do melt off your paracord, it is very hot. You can put a pretty bad burn on your finger. So I'm going to show you the way that I finish off my paracord. So I'm going to start with the whites. I'm just going to go cut those off. I leave a little bit of paracord when I cut it off. Okay. And what I do is I use my lighter and I hold it in there and I get it in there good and tight. And I apologize, I've got a fan blowing right now. But I hold it till it kind of melts, and once I feel that it's good and melted, I'll then take and just mash my lighter into it to finish the melting process and to spread the paracord out. And I'm going to do this end. I'm going to get it in there good and tight. I apologize for the fan blowing. Normally you would not want to do this under a fan. That did not melt too good. Try that again. And you'll notice your paracord starts to melt real good. Once you get it in there good and melted, you just want to take and push it down with the end of your lighter. And it's on there pretty good. Next thing I want to do is I want to take my orange ends. Cut them off. And I'm going to come over here a little bit out of the lighter, out of the fan range. And I'm going to turn that fan off. Now, without the breeze blowing, I can show you a little bit better what I'm talking about when I'm saying melting the paracord. We're just going to hold it under there into the blue, and if you notice, it starts getting a really good bead. It's kind of forming a little button as it melts. You want to keep it in the blue. If you get it in the yellow, you do get a chance of it catching fire. And then you want to push the end in like that. And if it does stick to your lighter, it's no big deal. Just push it off a little bit. Okay, then the last thing we want to do is we want to finish with the black. And we want to cut that off. And again, you just start your lighter. You want to melt it down. You start forming a nice little button on your paracord. And if you do, just want to push it down with the end of your lighter to lock it down. And that one's a little too tall. I want to cut that one down. I'll try that again. That up till you get a nice little button going on it, and you'll notice it's getting nice and bubbly. You just push that in with your lighter, and we just want to do our last one. It's probably just a little too tall. We want to cut that one down. And we want to light it, hold it into the blue till it gets all good and melted. You'll start seeing a nice little button forming. Once you start seeing that and it gets bubbly, we then want to take and push into it. And at that point, we are finished. And I do apologize for the part stopping with the fan. But that, in a nutshell, is how you do the chainmail paracord. I hope you enjoyed it, and check my channel for others, and if you do like this, do click the like button. Thank you.